Hello students. Today I am going to deal with a very important topic of the chapter federalism, that is decentralization in India. What is decentralization? Decentralization is the process of transferring and assigning decision making authority to lower level. That means कि when power is taken away from the higher level of government and assigned to the same power to lower level of the government, that is called as decentralization. And decentralization is one of the important feature of federalism. If we talk about our country, India is so vast that it is not possible for a single government to deal with the administration of the whole country. That's why what we did, we divided India into a number of states. Now, in each state, there is a state government. Now, if you look at the area and demographic composition of the state, you will find that some of the states of our country are, in terms of area and populations, are bigger than that of the countries of Europe. So, what I mean to say that states in our country are also so big in terms of area and population that again it is practically very difficult for a state government to deal with the administration of the whole state. That is why, for the sake of administrative convenience, we divided the state into a number of subunits, that is the district, block and village, and the local governments is installed in each of these level, which are known as the local government. So in Indian Federation, we find that there are three level of government: central government, state government and local government. So this is the process. This is the process of decentralization. So why we adopted the process of decentralization? Because it due to decentralization, the government gets closer link with the people. It promotes democratic participation of the people. It produces accountability in the system of the government. It effectively deals with the problem of the local people. It provides better services. Okay, it reduces the workload of the state and the central government. Okay, so these are some of the important purposes for which we adopted the process of decentralization. You just see this flow chart dealing with the purpose of decentralization. So now let's talk about the differences between centralization and decentralization. It's very simple. Centralization means when all the powers are concentrated at one level, and decentralization means when powers are distributed to various levels. In centralization we find the public participation is negligible. Public का ज़्यादा participation नहीं होता, लेकिन decentralization में we find the more public participation. Okay, so decentralization is considered to be a better option to rule over the people in a democratic country. Centralization is not a feature of democracy. Generally, in monarchical system, in military system, in oligarchical system, in communist system, you will find the process of centralization where all the power of the state are either in the hand of one person or one party or one organization. But decentralization allows the distribution of power among the various level, among the various units of the government. That is a better system. Even Gandhiji once said regarding decentralization that when the Panchayat Raj is established, public opinion will do what violence can never do. So he greatly emphasized the importance of village panchayat. So this is the history of decentralization. The decentralization process was there in India since ancient time, when our country was being ruled by the Raja, who was known as Rajan, and even Raja was assisted by the councils known as Sabha and Samiti. Sabha and Samiti were the local bodies of the village areas, and they used to assist the king to run the administration of the country. This shows that even during ancient time, our country was following the process of decentralization. And during the British era, we find that the process of decentralization was institutionalized. There was one governor whose name was Lord Mayo. In 1870, he gave impetus to the development of local institutions by extending their powers and responsibility. Lord Ripon was the first Viceroy of India who effectively started the process of decentralization, who established the local bodies in our country. That is why Lord Ripon is often called as the father of local self-government in India. So, so these are the development of local government. We do not have to study much about it in the chapter federalism. You will read it. Okay. Now, in 1992, the 73rd Amendment Act was passed by our parliament, which make the formation of local government compulsory for all the states. And you all are knowing the features of the 73rd Amendment Act, that now it has become compulsory to conduct election to the local bodies. 33% seats in the local bodies were given to women. Seats are also reserved for the other backward classes. Then state election commission would conduct election to the local bodies. So these are some of the important features of the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. In fact, in 1992, two amendments were made in the parliament. 73rd Amendment Act that deals with the rural local government, village panchayat, panchayat samiti and Jila Parishad, and 74th Amendment Act that deals with the urban local government, that brings changes in the municipality and municipal corporations. Okay, see this 74th Amendment Act. It bring about a change in the urban local bodies. There are three types of urban local bodies. That is municipal corporation known as Mahanagar Nigam, then municipality known as Nagar Palika, and Nagar Panchayat in a smaller cities. So, see this chart: union government, state government, local government. Local government consists of municipality and panchayat. Okay, panchayat for the rural areas and municipality for the urban areas. Now let's talk about the Panchayati Raj system. What is Panchayati Raj system? Rural local government is often called as the Panchayati Raj system. जो rural local government होता है ना, village panchayat, then block samiti or panchayat samiti and the Jila Parishad, they are collectively known as Panchayati Raj. So the Panchayati Raj generally refers to the system of local government in India introduced by a constitutional amendment in 1992. Okay, although it is based upon the traditional panchayat system of the Indian subcontinent. What is the needs and importance? Effective management of local affairs. It relieves the burden of state administration, I told you. Then it provides good training for running the central and state government. Then it is extremely economical. बहुत ज़्यादा खर्चीला नहीं होता है पंचायत वाला सिस्टम, है ना. और ये लोगों को मौका देता है कि वो डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस में पार्टिसिपेट कर सके. बहुत सारे गांव वाले पंचायत के मेंबर बन जाते हैं, ब्लॉक समिति के मेंबर बन जाते हैं, जिला परिषद के मेंबर बन जाते हैं. इस तरह गांव वालों को भी जो है ना डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस में पार्टिसिपेट करने का मौका मिल जाता है थ्रू दीज लोकल बॉडीज. So there is a long history of Panchayati Raj in our country. Immediately after the independence of our country in 1957, there was one MP whose name was Balwant Rai Mehta. He chaired a committee which was known as the Balwant Rai Committee, and for the first time he recommended the establishment of Panchayati Raj system in our country, that there should be one branch of the government that deals with the administration of the rural areas particularly. Okay, and it was on the basis of the recommendation of Balwant Rai Mehta Committee that our government has established 3-tier Panchayati Raj system: Gram Panchayat at village level, Panchayat Samiti at the block level, and Jila Parishad at the district level. But they were not made compulsory. ये कंपलसरी नहीं बनाया गया. ठीक है ना. ये कंपलसरी कब हुआ था? 1992 में. उससे पहले ऑप्शनल था. स्टेट चाहे तो लोकल बॉडीज बना सकते थे या नहीं बना सकते थे. हालांकि बनाने के लिए बोला जाता था, लेकिन ये कंपलसरी कर दिया गया कि 1992 से कि अब हर स्टेट को अपना लोकल गवर्नमेंट बनाना पड़ेगा, एट विलेज, एट ब्लॉक, at the district as well as in the cities. So these are the 3 levels of Panchayati Raj: Jila Parishad, then आंचलिक पंचायत जिसको हम लोग पंचायत समिति, मंडल समिति, ब्लॉक समिति ये सब बोलते हैं, देन गांव पंचायत, विलेज लेवल. ओके, see the structure, the 3 tiers. The lowest level is the Gram Panchayat, above it Panchayat Samiti, and above it Jila Parishad. Now let's talk about the village panchayat. See, village panchayat is the lowest tier of the panchayati raj system, and village panchayat is elected by the gram sabha. What is gram sabha? Gram sabha is all the adult citizens of village, they forms gram sabha, and it is this gram sabha who elect the panchayat, village panchayat. The members of the panchayat are called as panch, and the head of the panchayat is known as प्रधान और मुखिया और सरपंच और सदर, अलग अलग जगहों पे अलग अलग नाम है. एंड दीज आर द वेरियस फंक्शंस ऑफ द विलेज पंचायत. यू कैन रीड इट आउट एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो मेक अ नोट्स ऑफ दीज फंक्शंस. अब पढ़ लीजिएगा, ये सारे फंक्शंस दिए हुए हैं विलेज पंचायत का. ठीक है, दे ऑल आर वेरी इजी, नॉट सो डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड. डील्स विद द डेवलपमेंटल प्रोग्राम, then it support the programs of mass education, promotes unity and harmony among all the sections. Then it discuss and recommend appropriate action with regard to the report of the vigilance committee. Then it levy taxes upon the people of villages, etc., etc. So there are various functions of the gram panchayat. Okay, see, these are the functions gram panchayat we have discussed. Now फ्रॉम व्हाट आर द सोर्सेज ऑफ द इनकम ऑफ ग्राम पंचायत. मतलब ग्राम पंचायत को काम करने के लिए पैसा कहाँ से मिलता है? कुछ तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट देती है, बाकी वो जो गांव में टैक्स लगता है ना, उस टैक्स का जो पैसा आता है वो डायरेक्ट ग्राम पंचायत के पास जाता है. ठीक है, कुछ लोग बड़े बड़े लोग डोनेशन भी देते हैं ग्राम पंचायत को, ताकि वो ग्राम पंचायत सही से फंक्शन कर सके. और बाकी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से भी इन लोगों को ग्रांट, ग्राम पंचायत को ग्रांट मिलता है. देन द नेक्स्ट टायर इज द ब्लॉक लेवल विच इज नोन एज द पंचायत समिति, क्योंकि कई गाँवों को मिला के क्या बनता है? ब्लॉक. और ब्लॉक का जो रूरल लोकल गवर्नमेंट होता है उसको हम लोग कहते हैं पंचायत समिति. इट इज अ लोकल गवर्नमेंट बॉडी एट द तहसील लेवल. दिस बॉडी वर्क्स फॉर द विलेजेज ऑफ द तहसील दैट टुगेदर आर कॉल्ड डेवलपमेंट ब्लॉक. एंड द पंचायत समिति एक्ट एज अ लिंक बिटवीन द ग्राम पंचायत एंड दैट ऑफ द डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. मतलब ये मिडिल होता है, जिला परिषद और ग्राम पंचायत के बीच का बॉडी होता है पंचायत समिति. तो दैट इज वाई वी कैन से दैट पंचायत समिति एक्ट एज अ मीडिएटर बिटवीन द जिला परिषद एंड दैट ऑफ द village. Now these are the functions of the village. Whatever functions village panchayat perform in a village, the same functions are dispensed by the panchayat samiti in the block level. See, the supply of drinking water, drainage, development of cottage and small scale industries, establishment of youth organizations, development of agriculture and infrastructure, etc., etc. Okay, then at the district level, the highest level is the Jila Parishad in rural local government. Jila Parishad, which is also known as the district council, and all the chairmen of the block samiti are the member of the Jila Parishad, and the head of the Jila Parishad is called as chairman or chairperson, and the MP and MLA of that Jila are also the members of the Jila Parishad. These are the various functions of the Jila Parishad: provide essential services, set up and run schools in the district, start primary health center, execute plan for the development of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. It encourages entrepreneur to start small scale industries. It construct bridges, roads, public facilities, work on sanitation related to issues, provide employment to the people, etc., etc. So these are the various functions of the Jila Parishad. Then 74th Amendment Act, I told you that it brought changes in the urban. It deals with the urban local government in the city. What would be the system of the local government in the cities? In cities, see, you will find the municipal corporations in the big cities where there is population more than 10 million. Okay. So municipal corporation is an urban local body. Okay, it is an urban local body that deals with the administration and affair of what? That deals with the administration and affair of the urban areas. ठीक है ना? तो 1 मिलियन से ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन जिस शहर में होता है, 10 मिलियन नहीं, मैंने शायद 10 मिलियन कह दिया था, 1 मिलियन से ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन जिस शहर में होता है वहाँ होता है म्यूनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशन. ओके, और 1 लाख से 10 लाख तक के बीच की आबादी वाले शहरों में म्यूनिसिपल काउंसिल होता है. ठीक है, और उससे भी छोटे शहर होंगे तो वहाँ नगर पंचायत होता है. नाउ यू विल सी द वेरियस फंक्शंस ऑफ द म्यूनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशंस: अर्बन प्लानिंग, वाटर सप्लाई, पब्लिक हेल्थ, सैनिटेशन, अर्बन फॉरेस्ट्रीज, प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ द एनवायरनमेंट, पॉवर्टी एलिविएशन प्रोग्राम्स में काम करते हैं, इस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज, ओके, स्ट्रीट लाइटिंग, पार्किंग, पार्किंग लॉट्स को बनाना, बस स्टॉप, पब्लिक कन्वीनियंसेस, डिस्पोजल ऑफ गार्बेज एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा। दीज आर द फंक्शंस ऑफ व्हाट? फंक्शंस ऑफ द म्यूनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशंस। उसके बाद आता है म्यूनिसिपैलिटी, छोटे शहरों में जहाँ पे 1 लाख से 10 लाख के बीच की आबादी है, उसका भी मोर और लेस वही काम होता है जो म्यूनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशंस का होता है। ठीक है, आप देख सकते हैं ये सारा फंक्शंस, दीज आर द फंक्शंस ऑफ द म्यूनिसिपैलिटीज which are also known as nagar palikas. Then there are other urban bodies also, such as cantonment board, port trust. This you do not have to study. Then there is a nagar panchayat, which is also known as notified area council or city council in India. It helps in the transformation of from rural to urban. And the 3-tier structure in municipal corporations, municipal council and nagar panchayat. मतलब जैसे पंचायती राज होता है ना, जिसमें 3 टायर हो गए आपके, म्यूनिसिपैलिटी, म्यूनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशन एंड विलेज पंचायत, ब्लॉक समिति एंड जिला परिषद। उसी तरह से अर्बन एरियाज में 3 टायर होते हैं, नगर पंचायत सबसे छोटा, देन अबव इट म्यूनिसिपैलिटी और उससे भी अबव म्यूनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशन। एंड दीज आर द फंक्शंस ऑफ द नगर पंचायत: सैनिटेशन प्रोग्राम, street lighting, providing roads, schools, establishment and maintenance of schools in urban areas. It starts and implement the program for adult literacy, water supply, drainage system, maintaining records of birth and death. These are the important functions of the Nagar Panchayat. तो व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस विच आर फेसिंग बाय द लोकल गवर्नमेंट करेंटली? अभी क्या चैलेंजेस, प्रॉब्लम फेस करे लोकल गवर्नमेंट? तो ये शिकायत होती है कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अभी भी सारा पावर, रियल पावर लोकल गवर्नमेंट को नहीं दे रही है। नो रियल ट्रांसफर ऑफ पावर बाय द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट टू लोकल सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट। स्टेट गवर्नमेंट आर डोमिनेटिंग द लोकल गवर्नमेंट। तो लोकल सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट को पैसों की कमी हो रही है, जिसकी वजह से वो सही से काम नहीं कर रहे हैं। इनकी शिकायत है कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को जितना फंड देना चाहिए हमें काम करने के लिए, उतना फंड स्टेट गवर्नमेंट नहीं देती है। ठीक है, तो मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट दे आर नॉट ट्रांसफरिंग significant powers to the local government, nor they give adequate resources to properly run the system of the local government. ठीक है, उसके बाद जो गांव में जो महिला सरपंच होती है, जो प्रधान की जो पंचायत की जो मुखिया कभी अगर महिला हो जाती है तो समझ लीजिए कि वो महिला रूल नहीं करती है, बल्कि उसके तरफ से उसके पति रूल करते हैं। वुमेन सरपंच मेयर बिकेम पपेट इन द हैंड्स ऑफ देयर हस्बैंड। देन लैक ऑफ ऑटोनॉमी इन इंपॉर्टेंट फील्ड्स। ठीक है, लोकल गवर्नमेंट इंडिपेंडेंटली काम नहीं करती है। स्टेट गवर्नमेंट डज नॉट वर्क अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, सॉरी ऑफ द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट। लेकिन यहाँ लोकल गवर्नमेंट जो है ना, उसको स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के कंट्रोल में ही रह के काम करना पड़ता है। दैट मीन्स कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट डज नॉट इंजॉय autonomous power like that of the state government. Time to time state government also interfere in the work and functioning of the local bodies. So these are some of the important challenges facing by the local self government in our country. Okay students, I hope you get all the content of this topic, decentralization in India. Thank you.